Hey guys, the Creator13 here, back again for another Minecraft video. Today I'm going to be laying out the framework for my base, as well as planning some stuff in a creative world. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, so I drew out my plans for the city. So my kind of idea is, I built the town hall already, but I want to have a pool in front, kind of like in front of the Lincoln Memorial. And I'm going to have some city buildings like mid-rises and one or two skyscrapers, and there will be two cliffs hugging the city before it reaches the ocean with a harbor. And one of those cliffs will just have a forest, and then one of those cliffs will have like a ruined, like apocalyptic city. Here you can see the drawing up close. Alrighty guys, quick progress update. So I got the floor plan of the town hall in here, right? So that's fun. And I raised it up. So I found a new location for my base also, by the way. It's not loading. Yeah, there we go. It's relatively flat besides these hills, which are about the height of the city, so it's not much digging. But it's relatively flat up here. And so you can, I can make this hill go downwards. So this is gonna the start of the pool thing that's gonna be in front of the town hall. It's probably gonna end around here, though I haven't decided yet. And then that's gonna be the harbor. But I've discovered that the town hall is massive, by the way. So this is the town hall. So that's the stairway in front, and then the stairways on the sides. And right now I'm working on the slope. So the main slope is 8 rise, 1 run. No, 1 rise, 8 run, right? So every up, there's an 8. And then, like, on the roads, there will be slabs, maybe. There will possibly be slabs. So that it'll go like that, all the way up. This middle line right here is my guideline. Like, no matter what is here, I can guide it over there. And so not everything has to stick directly with this, because, for example, right here, the slope goes... Excuse me? There we go. The slope goes like this. And so this area is going to be flattened so that it's an actual usable space, versus this sidewalk that goes up the side of the town hall. It's going up as well. So we're starting to get a little bit of slabbage in here. Yeah. And, like, for example, there's going to be a road crossing right here, and I've decided to make the roads 10 blocks wide. And it goes over 2 different sections, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we're going to level it out like this, and then even with the sidewalk, we're going to have this, and then we're going to have it go down. So any building right here is going to have a higher front door here, and then a lower front door here for the potential of a walk-in basement, walk-out basement, or whatever it's called. Alrighty guys, I made a full city block. So first of all, here, the town hall, as mentioned before, there's going to be kind of like a little bit of a plaza. Like, nothing too much, but just a little bit of a plaza, and then the pool. But there's a road here, and it'll go up next to the town hall and around it and whatever. But for now, it comes in a 4-way intersection, so you can come over here and park, and it's not a sidewalk, but there'll be a system, like some way to get down this area. And then there's a legit sidewalk over here that you can walk down. And then I'm making a system of plots. These plots are 16 by 16. I'm not sure if they're chunk aligned or not, which is kind of a problem, but that's pretty cool. And then so these city blocks will be a lot of places. So I'm going to continue these downward until we hit about maybe, let's break that, until we hit about maybe here-ish, and then I'll have city blocks running around this area. So these plots don't have to be buildings, and they don't have to be a single building. Like, I could make one strip mall that's just this entire city block. Or I could make, like, this plot and this plot be a building, but there's an outdoor seating arrangement right here in that section. Or, like, I could make a building and it's these 2 plots, and then these 2 plots are a parking lot. You know what I'm saying? So it gives me a lot of variety in how I'm able to plan the builds. But the only build I have down for sure is this one. Alright guys, I think I made it a little bit too big. So the problem is I made the town hall friggin' massive. I really should not have done that. So I tried to keep the square small, but having only one city block, like if I just cut it off like here, that seems too small and too rectangular compared to the size of my drawings. I want it to be like that proportion right here, but the town hall is massive. So I think this might be like a really, really big project, or what I might have to do is I might just have to make smaller buildings, or not smaller, like bigger buildings. Like instead of going, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, I could just go, bam, that's a 2 building. Bam, that's a 4 building. Bam, that's a 2 building. And so then I'm gonna have the walls go around the outside of this city. And yeah. Or maybe I just make the city smaller. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know, cuz the problem is if I make it smaller, right? Let's say I just went like shing and I cut off like the street and like all this garbage, like these 2 blocks. The city would be a lot smaller, but one, it would be disproportionate. I mean, I could just lower the town hall and then cut it off like that and have it be like that kind of shape, and or like maybe like here. Alrighty guys, I decided that the original plot of land was too big, and so I made this prototype smaller version in my test world. So this is the town hall right here, with the same street behind it. But as you can see, instead of going out about 5 plots out and having a wider sidewalk, this only goes out 3. So 1, well, a little more than 3. But yeah, so basically the street layout is still unique and it's not just a grid pattern, but we have our same area and then our same like walkway over the pier, and then our same like kind of pool area right here, and then yeah. So if you're wondering about these white block, oh, also by the way, I wanted to just clarify, I think I'm gonna make that a park, so that entire plot of land isn't gonna be built. Maybe not that one. Maybe this one is gonna be a park, right? Or maybe like that one. I don't know. One of these like entire blocks is gonna be a park. But yeah, so anyways, so this I got this idea from the city of Andia, which I'll put a link to the video. I saw this in the description. I've seen it before in other videos, but yeah. So basically, they have a sign. So when you're flying around, right, it's just a bunch of random white blocks or whatever. Or I'll change it up a bit. I was just trying to emulate their sign. But if you stand in a certain position, e.g. right here, it says NC, which stands for New Chicago, which is the name of this town. So yeah, so I made that. If you want a quick tutorial, go check out the link in the description. It's literally just making a glass version of the text and then filling it in with other blocks behind it. But yeah, so I'm gonna convert this into a copy of the survival world, like a different one than before, and I'll like make it all elevated and all that stuff. So yeah, see you then. Alrighty guys, so I finished like converting this into the server copy. It's the same thing you saw earlier, except I didn't put the thingy in, the sign. So yeah, so I also wanted to go over, I chunk aligned the build, but not based on the plots. So it's chunk aligned with like horizontally, so that like the start of the chunk is right there and the end is right there, right? So it's aligned horizontally, but not that way. And the reason for that is because I want my storage system at the front, it has to be chunk aligned, and it fits within a chunk right there ish. So that's where everything is chunk aligned to. And I have decided I'm gonna make this, or not this one. I'm gonna make that plot a big park, and then either that one or that one, or like those two. I'm gonna make a big park. I haven't decided yet. And then I'll keep working on planning out the harbor. I just wanted to get this done and dusted, like, for the video. And then I've also planned out right here, this is where all the elevators go inside the building. And so down here is where the elevators would connect to the ground. And I want my build to be underground so I can have some already existing walls, so people can't just break in. And so you come down here, and there's going to be a piston door, and I have a hologram set up. I just wanted to set up the hologram so that I can make the door. But yeah, so I'll be working on that. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you a demonstration of the mechanics of that door and lock system. So yeah, see you then. All right, so I'm recording this after the fact. So this design, like the mangrove and whatever, that's not in the hologram because I designed this after the fact. But so this is my equivalent of the iPhone. So the iPhone, like, Steve Jobs didn't invent the GPS or like the screen or whatever. He just like jumbled a bunch of crud together and it worked. So for example, this door and the other door on the other side is from Tomco 2. The color combo lock is from the Bowtie Man. And the item sorter design is from Bowtie Man, but I jumbled it all together and stuff. So basically, a demonstration is you press this button, and you can come in. You can also press this button to go out. It's two-sided. And there are keycard readers where you have to put separate keycards into each of them. And then there's color combination things where you have to twist it. And once they're at the right combinations and the keycards are all in, this door will open and you can be let into the base. How this works is, so first of all, the double-sidedness of the door, all right? So this is the input block. What I do is I have one input, and it's inverted, obviously, so that when there's no redstone signal, the door is closed. So when you press the button here, it just goes straight in. But it also goes through a pulse extender, which I don't think I need to explain this. There's plenty of stuff out there, but it basically, when you press the button, the signal slowly decays, but it stays open for a certain amount of time. And so, yeah. So then the other button connects to the same wire and goes into the pulse extender as well. So it does the same thing, like, regardless of what button there is. And I have that on the other side as well, right? There's a certain amount of stuff in there, and then once you put one more, it powers that, which powers this thing, and then it unpowers that torch. And apparently, I found a thing that you can power this torch through the piston. So if you power the redstone torch underneath, right, and it powers the piston, then it can also power this torch, but it can't through any other block. So that's why I have the obsidian here as well, so it stops the piston from pushing. So then it goes up, and all of them have to be turned off in order for it to work, and it goes in that same redstone line and connects here. So it all has to be off in order for it to turn the door on. And since it's a constant signal, it'll keep open. And then once you press this button, right, it shifts the hoppers back and forth, so it takes one item out of the keycard system, and then you'll get some stuff in here, right? And then also it, like, powers the piston things a bunch so that it, like, resets it, and there's, like, variation with this observer and whatever. So yeah, so that's pretty much how all that works. So I'll see you in the survival world. Alrighty guys, so I started to build, that was perfectly timed. I built this this combination room. This is live on the server. It's kind of laggy, but so here's where my nether portal is gonna be, and I blocked these off just because mobs kept falling through them. But up there, that'll be the town hall. I dug this in the ground so I didn't have to make too much, but I just want to get something here, and that's also why there's no combination, because That's why there's no combination, because I don't know how I want it to look. And the other one, I had it like a teal gradient or whatever, and you have to cycle through it. But yeah, and then these droppers are gonna be keycard readers. And for the most part, everything is in place, and everything's in place. And so now I'm gonna move on to digging out the main area of the build. So I'll talk to you guys once I'm done with that. Alrighty, guys. So we're in here. I'm not sure if you've seen this yet. So I have my portal, right? And it connects to the Nether hub. I'm not going to show you that because it's kind of dumb. And then I fixed the issue with the door. If you've followed this tutorial, what you need to do is replace the dropper that's under the that's under the obsidian with redstone dust. So you go boop, and that piston will fire, and then you need to click this repeater. You need to click this repeater until it resets, because you want that repeater to be on one tick, but you want the piston to fire as well. So yeah, so that's how to fix that. And then I dug out a massive area in here. So this massive area, don't mind the graffiti, by the way. This massive area is, so that's going to be my storage system right there. And then my super smelter is going to be along this wall. That was buggy. Along this wall. And then my storage system is going to continue on this wall into a non-stackable sorter. So yeah. And then, there's a hole. And then there's going to be a vault door here and there. And there's going to be this hallway where you can walk forward, and these are going to be all the armor trims. And then over here is going to be my valuables room. So there's going to be every single music disc lined up against this wall on an item frame with a lectern. And then every single ore, the same over here. And then this is going to be a blue axolotl tank. And then this wall is going to have this wall, and this wall are all going to have pottery shards. I'm gonna start working on this in a test world, trying to figure out an aesthetic for this. So yeah, so once I've nailed down an aesthetic, I'm gonna put some of the color combination lock codes in here. I'm gonna make the gradient, because it would look stupid if this was a white gradient in a white room, but not if it was a white gradient in a black room. But it would look weird if it was a red gradient in a green room, like that kind of thing. So we have to figure out what that's gonna be, and then I'll get my codes in for these keycards off screen. So yeah. But then I also wanted to show you the project board and rule board for the server. Alright, I'm gonna be walking from here on out. So I wanted to talk to you about a thing that I came up with. So my base, as you can tell, kind of got graffitied a little bit. There were questionable phrases on the wall, and a certain male organ on the wall as well. And so that's got me thinking. So I created what is called the Vandalism token, which I haven't actually made a token yet, but the idea is it's almost like tag. Like, you can go and, so somebody's gonna start with the Vandalism token, and when you have the Vandalism token, you are able to get vandalized by anybody, and people can, as long as they don't break into your base with redstone keycards or whatever, and as long as it's something that can be easily fixed, then it's fine. But when you have the Vandalism token, you can get vandalized, and the only way to get rid of it is to give the thing to somebody else. And they could do something like put light gray stained glass in their inventory. They could, you know, always avoid people and droppers and like that kind of thing. You know, you could have an automated system. So over here, I explain it. So only 5 acts of vandalism at a time. So if Hazel had the vandalism token and then I went over to his vase, I could only do 5 things. Yeah. And they can only be minor and easily fixable. And the vandalism token makes vandalism allowed on the token owner. And the token can only be discarded if it's passed to another player. I've also made a bunch of server rules, like no unprovoked PvP, no griefing, no... yeah. And then over here I have the project board. So server projects can only be for community projects, so not like bases. So, 1, there's the nether hub. I want to mine a layer off the nether hub so it's 3 blocks tall. And that'll also give people something to do if they're bored of working on their base. So this is so you can like fly around and whatever, you know. And then the second one is to make a community block or item collection bank. So this is where any item in the game would be stored. And then I'm also going to make a new one entitled Make a Mob Collection Bank. So yeah. So these projects are up here. I might work on them, I might not. But yeah. So I'll get back to you once I have my color combo and my aesthetic selected, and I'll give you a sample of that unless I decide to just do it. But yeah, and then I'll wrap up the video. So yeah, see you guys. Alrighty guys, I think this is the aesthetic I'm gonna go for using the red and the brown and the gray and the yellow. I think it's pretty cool. It captures like kind of an art deco kind of vibe. I have it set to a random combination back there. But I did install the locks and stuff. I just have to print more key cards. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode. And yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios, amigos.